SpaceX is preparing for one of the most important test flights in its history. The company's Starship Super Heavy rocket is set to lift off from Starbase, Texas, marking Flight 11, the final mission of the version 2 Starship design, and the last launch from Pad A in its current form. For SpaceX, this is more than just another test. It's the closing chapter of one era and the beginning of the next. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll break down everything you need to know about Flight 11, from the rocket and the mission goals to what this means for the future of humanity's journey to Mars. The launch is scheduled for Monday evening at 6:15 p.m. Central. Time so that's 7:15 p.m. Eastern or 3:15 UTC. It's officially called Starship Flight 11, the 11th integrated test of the complete Starship Super Heavy system. This mission will serve as the grand finale for version 2, paving the way for the much-anticipated version 3, which SpaceX says will finally be capable of orbital flight and full recovery. According to SpaceX, weather conditions are 80% favorable, giving this test a solid chance to proceed on time. Flight 11 will fly on Booster 15, or B-15. This massive 70-meter-tall booster is powered by 33 Raptor 2 engines, each burning liquid methane and liquid oxygen. What's special about this booster is its history. It was the same one successfully caught by SpaceX's Mechazilla launch tower during Flight 8 in Curiosity that made it the third booster ever caught by the tower. Following Flights 5 and 7 for Flight 11, 24 of those 33 engines are being reused, showcasing the rapid reuse philosophy at the core of SpaceX's design. This test will also experiment with a new engine configuration during the landing burn, which is one of the key focuses of this mission. After stage separation, Booster 15 will perform an aquatic landing offshore, rather than being caught by the tower. But this time, SpaceX will change how that landing burn works. Traditionally, Super Heavy used 3 engines for its final landing phase. Now, SpaceX will ignite 13 engines for the initial burn, and then taper down to 5 for the final moments. According to SpaceX, this update will become the baseline for version 3 boosters, offering extra redundancy in case any engine fails mid-burn. It's a subtle but significant evolution, and every data point here helps refine the roadmap toward a fully reusable orbital launch system. About 2.5 minutes after liftoff, Starship S-38, the upper stage, will separate from the booster through a hot staging maneuver, where the upper stage engines ignite before separation. S-38 will then continue on a suborbital trajectory, aiming for a splashdown in the Indian Ocean, off the coast of Australia. But before that, Starship will attempt several experimental objectives, deploying 8 steel structures simulating the mass and shape of Starlink version 3 satellites, attempting a relight of one of its sea-level Raptor engines during the coast phase, a critical test for future deorbit and orbital maneuver capabilities. At each of these objectives will help SpaceX validate the systems needed for long-duration missions and satellite deployments in orbit. More than an hour after launch, S-38 will re-enter Earth's atmosphere and aim for a controlled water landing. SpaceX intentionally removed sections of the heat shield tiles to study stress points on the vehicle during re-entry. This will help engineers understand exactly where the Starship structure endures the most thermal and aerodynamic stress, informing future design upgrades for version 3 and beyond. To simulate the path of future orbital returns to Starbase, Starship will execute a dynamic banking maneuver, testing subsonic guidance algorithms before its final descent. Every Starship test is part of a bigger picture. Flight 11 isn't about reaching orbit or carrying payloads. It's about learning, from engine behavior and aerodynamic loads to heat distribution and software guidance. Every sensor and camera on this vehicle is collecting terabytes of data. This flight will be the final rehearsal before SpaceX transitions to version 3, which will introduce major design improvements, including updated engines, stronger airframes, and enhanced landing systems. With the completion of Flight 11, SpaceX will officially retire Pad A for major upgrades and shift focus to Pad B, which has been under construction for nearly 2 years. Unlike Pad A, Pad B features a traditional flame trench, designed to deflect exhaust away from the pad, a lesson learned from early tests that caused extensive damage. As SpaceX Vice President William Gerstenmaier explained, the team plans to conduct at least one suborbital test flight with Starship version 3 before attempting a full orbital mission. Pad B will become the foundation for those next-generation launches, a critical step toward rapid reusability and sustained operations. Version 3. Starship isn't just a tweak. It's a complete evolution. It will feature lighter materials, more efficient Raptor engines, and redesigned control surfaces for better stability during both ascent and descent. SpaceX hopes that version 3 will finally make full recovery and reuse possible, not just for the booster, but for the entire Starship system. That capability is the holy grail of spaceflight, a rocket that can fly, land, refuel, and fly again, dramatically reducing the cost of access to space. It's this vision that will enable not only Starlink satellite deployments, but also future moon missions with NASA, and eventually, human flights to Mars. From a remote patch of land on the Texas coast, SpaceX is building the world's first truly reusable Super Heavy launch system. Each test, each explosion, and each success brings them one step closer to that dream. And while Flight 11 marks the end of an era for Starship version 2, it also opens the door to a new phase, one that could change spaceflight forever. As SpaceX prepares for this launch, one thing is clear: the path to the stars is being forged right here, on Earth. From Flight 11 to version 3 and beyond, Starship isn't just a rocket, it's humanity's next giant leap.